So today's topic is, well, we were technically, well, let's start from the beginning. So we've been together for, it'll be 3 years in August, but we're getting married in July. So our 2-year anniversary, Stinky surprised me, and he proposed. So we were getting asked a lot of questions because, okay, you proposed what, August something? The end of August he proposed, we getting married July the 8th. Like, so people were asking us like a lot of questions about like, when do you know it's right and things like that, or do we feel like we're rushing it, or just regular questions that people ask when they think we're doing stuff too fast. So we wanted to make that our topic today to try to like, I guess, talk about the time, like how we feel our timeline was, because I know everybody's just not
both
the same.
genders.
Yeah, we're both genders.
You want to start?
So no, I kind of want you to start because it's like more men don't really like. They want to probably know why.
So bang. So pretty much, when it comes to a male's perspective, if he doesn't wants to get married yet, I don't necessarily always see that as a bad thing. It might be a bad thing based off of at what point in a relationship you're in, but most men, in my opinion, probably does either they're not ready financially, or even though they're with you, they don't want to have that more so. How about you? They don't want to have that pretty much confirmation or like lock-in to where
the ring feels like handcuffs to something.
Yeah, to where if they feel like they still then do something as far as like something you can't do like once you're married, like for example, if you're just like in a relationship to where you don't have no like paperwork or contracts or nothing, then they can still like get in and out of Dodge while they still got time mentally processing themselves. Once they get past like whatever, like that phase, then you know they might feel like the next stage ain't nothing left for me except to move over like as far as like the family. Or also they will. I'm trying to think. Also, if they don't feel like as if they're not ready to be married yet, it's also might be a reason to where they might feel like it's like. It might not see marriage is not. People will be thinking marriage is like a thing like, oh, we have like ups and downs or whatever, but being married can still like it's still like called for if you get to a certain point in the relationship. But also if it's like it depends on what it might be something small that the man is just not comfortable with yet in a relationship, and it might cause him to like because he has to be 100% confirmation. It has to be a 100% confirmation to where it can't be nothing like majorly like that bothers him in order for him to propose, if that makes sense.
So let's get off the general. What made you say it's time? And as you all know, I'm here changing. He doesn't have any kids. So
I got a dog. That count?
We can't. So yeah, what made you say like I think you're the one, or I think it's time, or like anything like that?
Because who said it? Something like I think Tyler Perry said it. When you see like the good, the bad, the like when you're good financially, when you're not good, the different seasons of a person.
Right.
And for example, you know what would determine stuff for me? It's not even the good times that determine stuff for me. More so, in my opinion, it determines is that if we go through something bad, how bad does it get? How do we discuss when stuff gets bad? Like how do we both react to when stuff gets bad? You see what I'm saying? Like if we like more so, okay, if we more so, let me give you an example. If stuff get bad and me and you, rather than, do what we do now, we communicate, I'm vetting it to somebody else that I have no business to be vetting it to, or you're vetting it to somebody else you have no business to be vetting it to, or stuff like that, or you like, or you get so pissed you do something stupid, or I'll get so pissed I do something stupid. You see, at that point I will feel like, okay, you're not ready yet. You see what I'm saying? But it's like when stuff get bad, we discuss, we don't yell, we don't argue, we communicate. Even though we're like, for example, if we're like really upset about a situation, we'll say like, okay, like this is like what's bothering me. This is what's bothering me. So, you know, I mean, whether you fix it or not, but this is what's bothering me. I want to get it off my chest or whatever. You see what I'm saying? I feel like that's what was my biggest determining factor, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Because I feel like good time, like, I mean, a lot of relationships have like good stuff, but it's like,
Especially in the beginning. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, you always have that newlywed feeling, but it's almost been 3 years.
but not only that, like, if we're going to
I
get
still
locked
feel
into a
it.
situation like that, and we're supposed to be doing all this stuff together, yeah, determining how we react when bad stuff happens, that's a big thing. Because it's not like something easy, just, oh, let me just jump out. That's not something I really think that's like something you just keep
Even when
jumping
you
out
say
of.
bad things, it's even like financially too. Like,
Yeah, financially too, like how
because
people
like I lost my job and I didn't have no income. Like, how's that gonna work? Like, did that put us under pressure? I mean, it happened. We got put under pressure, but at the end of the day, we didn't fold like at all. There was no argument. There was no nothing. Things happen. It is what it is. It's life. But right, the fact that nobody got downplayed or nobody was like, or just like, you know how some people hold things in and then it'll burst out is out of, like, not out of nowhere, but it'll be like an argument and be like, well, I'm doing this and doing that, and you ain't got no job. Like, it was never no tick for tack. Like, I think that was more so like,
It's also a problem because some people be in relationships, they be in competition with the people they be in relationships.
Right. I don't understand that how you're in competition with the person that you're supposed to be with. Like, if a person make more money than you, it's just like, oh, I gotta get more. I gotta do this or I got, and it's like, it's supposed to be a partnership.
Or if
It's
one
definitely
person
not
makes more
supposed
money
to be
than
a
the other, they feel
competition.
like, oh, I make the more money, I do more stuff, so I have more authority over doing what, you know, I want to do. and
What
stuff
you
like
want to
that.
do, right? And every decision we made, like whenever we ever made a decision, it wasn't just like, oh, well, this is going to affect my life and not his.
Yeah, that's
so
the thing.
I'ma make
Every
the
time we
decision.
make like a
always talk to
decision
each other
that,
about
like, you know, especially like if it just comes to a decision with either one of us or just like a decision financially, we usually discuss it before the decision is even made.
it. Right.
Just because, like, I don't know, I think this is maybe supposed to. I don't. In my opinion, I feel like once you like get into like a heavy relationship or like once you get like to the point where you're about to get married, I feel like that financial should be more of a together thing more than a separate thing. I mean, some things like, okay, that's yours. Some things like mine. But most
Right.
of it, majority of it should be like, okay, that's ours type of thing. That makes more sense.
Right. Or if I didn't have something that was mine, I know I can come to my husband and he would do it for me, or vice versa. It is what it is. It's vice versa.
Right.
But yeah, so to ask me, I feel as though, did I think that he was going to propose that soon? No, I didn't. I thought it would take maybe a couple
dog
more
did.
years. I mean, he never said that. I mean, we had to talk about it. Like, he already told me he was going to change my last name. I just didn't think that it was going to be that soon. Do I think that it's like we're rushing things? No, because it's like when you actually like when you're in love, like really in love,
I
like
feel
to know
like
what it really feels
Yeah,
like.
I feel like it's more so. It's not
different.
time. It's more so not time. I feel like
It's
relationships
never
will
time.
progress faster. People be thinking, oh,
People
well,
think of time. I don't think it's time. People be together for 15 to 16 years, and then all of a sudden, they just end up getting married. People be like, well, y'all been together so long, why get married now? Like, maybe something changed. Like, maybe something like happened. It's never just, everybody think it's time. Oh, it should be time and time.
I
No.
feel like your time is not a determining factor. I feel like it's more so what you do during that time, which makes sense. Like, I feel like as far as like, you know, communication, you could be with somebody for like 3-4 years, but y'all could barely have conversation, and like a lot of people like kind of skip over the conversation part, or like just have a lot of arguments.
My thing with you is the little things, like, because Damir pays attention, and it's just like, to me, basically, and it's like, I don't peep game until it like happens, and then it'll be like, well, I did something this way because I knew you would react like that, and I'm like, oh wow, because he'd be right. Like, he just paid attention, so it was the little things that got me to be like, because some people don't pay attention to people. They'll be with each other for years and don't even know that person. Like, you sitting there giving this person all this expensive stuff and all this stuff, and all they ever wanted was just quality time or a hug or something, and you think you're doing something just by, like, it's just, you got to know somebody. You got to know their love language. We had a video on that too, but that all ties into it also. Oh, I hit progress. But yeah, we don't think we're doing things too fast. Some people did, but they did have a question about, like, well, how did you know she was the one, or how this? And then, you know, some people be like, well, I'm not getting married until I'm in my 30s, or you shouldn't get married until you're in this age. It really doesn't matter. I know people that got married at 16 and 17 and they've been together for 30 years, 40 years. Like, it doesn't matter. Time has nothing to do with anything.
Well, I don't know. I feel like the biggest determining factor, if you ever like feel like it's like a big thing. If you ever feel like you ever have like that sense of like thinking back in your mind that you feel like you're missing out on something, yeah, just don't do it.
Are you doing it just to shut her up or to just make her happy? Because
the temptation is going to come later down the line, and it's going to be worse when you do it later down the line. Like, well, I feel like I was missing that down, or missed down the fourth or whatever later down the line. Then the person will be like, why didn't you tell me? It's like, cause we've been together this down the fourth. I didn't want to cut it off and then do this down the fourth and then try to come back later down the line and all that stuff. I feel like it's selfish. I don't know.
Yeah, and then I know I keep saying that he hates that, but him being younger than me, I do ask him a lot of times, like, are you sure? Are you ready? But I know got married for sure. If he wasn't ready, he would have never proposed to me. So
it's more so because I look at like, okay, in my point of view, I more so look at stuff like, you think, okay, what am I actually missing out on? But it's like, yeah.
Psych.
But it's more like, once you think about it, it's like, you think about it, it's like, it's like really worth it. It's like, at that point, it's like, it's more so like you're just wasting time and researching stuff, and then you like get older, and then you try to do stuff once you're bored and all that stuff, and then you waste the time. I don't know. It's like once you start establishing yourself in life, it's like better to start sooner than later. Then later down life you get to chill sooner instead of having to work later. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Work harder.
And you
first.
also had the problem where you started establishing things in life, like people out of the woodwork, just like, oh look, I'm here, like, but it's never noticed before. It's just like, nah.
I feel like the problem is a lot of people want to be younger first, and a lot of people also like, it's different when a lot of people like, okay, I want to establish things for myself, for me, instead of like, a lot of people want to like establish stuff for other people to see, like, oh, I got my own this, I got my own that.
That was another thing. We was always on the same page, like from the jump. Just like the whole like not liking people. No offense, but we don't like people. Like, we keep to ourselves. We don't like all the being a part of everything.
I mean, we got a few friends, few associates, but majority of the time, sorry. But majority of the time, it's like, we don't really tend to be bothered too much. But
yeah, we like had so much in common. It was just like, it was crazy. We have a lot in common. Like from the jump, it was just always that. And then not even that, it was just like the relationship we have with my kids from the jump was just, they love them. And he likes them sometimes.
and then it comes with the territory.
So yeah, that's our take on the whole marriage thing. We don't feel as though we're like doing things too fast. I mean, we want to get a house. We want to sign that house with Samson. Like, not two different last names, not none of that. Like, we just want to start building and establishing things. And the first thing to start establishing things is to start doing it as one. That's how we feel. So yeah, got anything else to add to that?
Yeah, before you actually get heavy dealing with somebody, live with them first. Like in an apartment together or something, live with them first. Before y'all like get heavy and like
yeah, but that's kind of a problem when you put in both two people names and they end up breaking up again. It's like, especially if it breaks up like sloppy.
I mean that's why you get like.
But yes, live with them first. We don't believe in it.
That's why you get like.
That's bullshit.
Yeah,
sorry for whoever do,
but I feel like that's also you like. That's why you like do leases and stuff. Not no mortgage. That's what I'm saying. You gotta live. You know, some people like literally live in separate places and then like get a house together after they get married and all that.
Then they can't live together because somebody just like extra dirty, or somebody just like they just do the little shit that just ticks you off and things.
Not
like
even
that.
more so that, some people. Some people be in a relationship, but some people like don't realize like some people are like really extra clingy in a relationship and like want to be with their significant other 24/7, and some people like only want to be with their significant other like once a like once in a while, like type thing. Not feel like okay, I'm living with. If you see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, not be with them, but like
Just as like to be able to just like some people just actually want to be able to like tell you to get out, like go home, I'm tired of you now, like just things like that.
or like for example, like I don't know. It's like it gets very sophisticated.
But that's another thing I feel like with females. Don't rush people. Like, I hate when people be like, well, we've been together for this long, so what's taking you so long? Or I'm giving you a timeline you got until now. If you do that, I don't care if you do that and then the person, like, give you a surprise proposal. Like, you gotta feel like you pushed it. Like, they really didn't want. You cannot push somebody to propose to you, to marry you. You just can't do it. Like, I know people that throw out hints. I mean, sometimes it's like, I feel like a hint is just telling somebody you want it. But to literally go to them like, you have this timeline, this is what you need to do.
Trust me,
it's
if
not
they
going to
didn't
work
do it
on
yet,
that.
it's for a reason.
Right.
I might
It's
not
really
be for a
not
bad
going
reason, but it's just not.
They might want to be financially ready. Like, financially ready. They might have not, y'all might have been together since y'all was young. And they still feel like they're not financially there to get married. So I just feel like you should not force or like make somebody, give them a timeline as to when this should happen. And if it don't happen, like you're leaving or something. Like, and if you can leave that fast, then so be it. You might as well just leave. There's no way you love somebody can leave that fast, but it is what it is. I just feel like it really should not be forced at all. Is that all?
Yeah, I think that's it. Sorry, I'm not so rusty.
Okay, well.
Say bye, rusty. Bye.
Bye, Rusty.
Say bye to people, rusty.
Do the growl.
Bye.
Alright, you ain't gonna do it, y'all. Hi, people.